there, he did what was perfectly normal in those days. He went and signed the visitor's book at Rideau Hall, which was where the Governor-General of Canada lived. And he was invited there. And Ribbentrop, who was charming, good-looking, extremely nice manners, hadn't got any of the arrogance that characterized him later. At one point, skated for Canada and very musical, was an excellent tennis player, was of course a great addition.
Ribbentrop was a popular figure in Canadian high society. He loved amateur theatricals and fancy dress balls. The Governor-General, whose circle Ribbentrop joined, was the Duke of Connaught, the King's younger brother. Ribbentrop, always an admirer of the royal family, later told Hitler that its great function was to maintain the cohesion of empire. For 4 years, Ribbentrop travelled through Canada, taking odd jobs, even working on the railways.
In 1914, when the World War I broke out, he hurried home as a patriot and was a volunteer, served in the army. He was fighting in the East and in the West, and at the end of World War I, he was a second lieutenant. He received the Iron Cross First Class. This is at least for a lieutenant a higher decoration, and he was very proud on it.
But despite the decoration, something was missing. Although he regarded himself as upper middle class, in Berlin after the war, Ribbentrop still craved an entree into German high society. He used his family connections to acquire the aristocratic title von.
He found an elderly aunt who was impecunious, and he bought the von of her, which was within the law. One could do that. I don't know whether one can still do it now, but one could then. And that helped a lot, except, of course, everybody knew that, you know, all of us, as it were, knew that he bought this.
Well, he paid for this adaptation 450 marks a month to his aunt. She was happy. She got the money, and he was happy that he finally had this long-wished title von Ribbentrop.
The newly ennobled von Ribbentrop took advantage of his title to enter the social life of Berlin's cosmopolitan set, many of them Jewish. Marion Whitehorn's family, the Gutmans, owned the Dresdner Bank. Von Ribbentrop was a frequent guest at the family's parties and fancy dress balls.
He didn't appeal to me at all. He never had a smile for us children. And he had a bad smell under his nose. He came from nowhere very much, and he wheedled his way in, and my parents and all their friends always referred to him as Ribbon Snob.
Von Ribbentrop entered the wine trade, using contacts he built up in Britain and France to sell whiskey, fine wines and champagne to Berlin's café society.
There are a lot of people who are wine snobs, and Ribbentrop knew how to use this, and he would give somebody, or sell it for very cheap, a case of very good French Burgundy or French claret, with a particular year and a particular chateau bottled thing which would impress such people, and they would eat out of his hand.
In 1920, von Ribbentrop married Anneliese Henkel. For him, this was a brilliant match. It brought both emotional and financial security.
Well, Anneliese was the daughter of a family that was very known in Germany, also very wealthy. They were the biggest manufacturer of Sekt, which is a German word for champagne.
Sekt had made Otto Henkel a multimillionaire. Joachim von Ribbentrop now joined the Henkel family business as a champagne salesman. Later he set up his own wine trading company using his Henkel connections. His wife Anneliese quickly became the controlling figure in his life.
She actually had a very dominating character, and he got deeper and deeper under her spell, and she was very ambitious for him. She was intelligent, probably more intelligent than him, and she really felt he could go far.
The marriage was very happy. They had 2 children, and they had a very nice house in Dahlem, which is a nice suburb of Berlin. And they gave very nice parties.
The Ribbentrops set up house in the Lenzerallee, one of the Berlin suburb's most elegant streets. Their mansion, since knocked down, became the focus of an active social life. In those days, Berlin high society was inextricably linked with Germany's ruling classes. There, Anneliese, a society hostess, propelled Ribbentrop into the world of politics.
Hannah Henkel was a lady who organized in her house what we call a special discussion circle, inviting famous people from industry, from politics, from culture. This is what had a club, a kind of club. And there he had many chances becoming friends or seeing other peoples from society.
The Ribbentrop Salon welcomed politicians of the right. They shared the widespread view that Germany had been shamefully treated after the war. They were deeply anti-communist. Ribbentrop's influence behind the scenes grew. He circulated a private newsletter with his thoughts on politics. At this time, many of Ribbentrop's friends were Jews.
The fact that we were Jewish never came into anything. There were lots of other Jewish people whose houses he went in and out of, and the question never arose, because among the society, the fact whether you were Jew or Catholic or Japanese or something was of no interest. It was a very cosmopolitan society.
But in the late 20s and early 30s, the Nazi Party was gaining in popularity. Although Ribbentrop shared Hitler's deep hatred of communism, he had too many Jewish friends to become an overt supporter immediately. But behind the scenes, he made contact with the Nazis and donated money to Hitler's cause.
He did believe we need a strong man. We need somebody who will fight for Germany again, that Germany will become a world power again. And then in '32, he met Hitler first time. He was so impressed by all his speeches and the discussion, and he came to the conclusion, this man will be the savior of Germany.
As so many others had done, he fell completely under Hitler's spell. Hitler was also rather intrigued by the Ribbentrop setup, because Anneliese was exactly the sort of woman that the Führer approved of. She was good-looking, she wore no makeup, she had several children, and he rather looked up to her from that point of view. So they did become rather favorites.
In 1932,